Well, Rumours is certainly an interesting one. What starts off as a political satire about a world leaders summit soon turns into a surreal horror comedy where they get lost in the woods and encounter a giant brain just hanging out in the middle of nowhere. And from there, it gets even weirder. Now, I'm not familiar with the works of directors Guy Maddin and brothers Evan and Galen Johnson. From what I've heard, they're usually known for more experimental works, and this is the closest we've seen to mainstream from them. If that truly is the case, I am interested to see how out there they can actually get, because without spoiling anything else, this was pretty bizarre, probably to the point it'll turn some people off, mainly in the second half. And I admit I wouldn't say it fully worked. I do think it tries biting off a bit more than it can chew in terms of what it wanted to be. I feel it had a difficult time balancing the political satire with its horror elements, the former of which kind of fall by the wayside as the movie goes on, and the latter being primarily full of elements that are ultimately left unexplained, which people might find frustrating. That being said, it's fairly amusing whenever you get into the arguments between the seven world leaders. Dennis Menochet, who you might remember as the dairy farmer from the Inglourious Basterds opening, was the highlight for me as the buffoonish president of France. You also have Cate Blanchett as the Prime Minister of Germany, giving a way more committed performance than you'd expect from a B-movie like this. And then there's also Charles Dance as the President of the United States, which in and of itself I found funny since he uses his British accent and the movie just doesn't care to ever explain it, so that was just something I personally found pretty amusing. I would say, for as wild as the second half is, I do think it could have played into the weirder elements even more, almost like sometimes the characters felt like they were still in a different movie, so that's the big thing that prevented me from really loving this. But I appreciated what it was going for and that it was trying to do a lot, so even though it's definitely a notably flawed and uneven movie, I'm still positive on it overall.